with that aroma can do. Brighter day for me and you. The best part of waking up is in your cup.
So I guess you guys are probably wondering, Phil, why are you walking down the street like that? Well, it's kind of a long story, but I guess I got time to tell you guys. It all started when I went off to college and stupid bullies followed me, god damn it.
They say humans are social animals that can't live alone. But you can live pretty well by yourself. I tell you, instead of feeling alone in a group, it's better to have real solitude all by yourself.
This holiday season, every time you purchase a 12-ounce SnortBucks coffee, a portion of the proceeds will be given to the Penny Foundation, the world's premier charity dedicated to helping down-on-their-luck content creators pay their daily bills.
I need that money. I really do. I need that money. I need my bills, the electric bill, the internet bill.
So stop by your local SnortBucks today and help send some Penny their way.
Oh, yes.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is DSP News, the unreliable ones. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the newsroom and welcome to the Galtopia News Network, your unreliable source for DSP News. This is the Snort Report, brought to us by SnortBucks Coffee Company, the best beverage company. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, how you guys doing? Hope you guys are doing well. I guess I should ask you guys about what your thoughts are on the new format. Maybe I'll just go ahead and do a poll or something. Yeah, maybe we'll do a poll or something. We'll see. We'll see. Ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys are doing well. Either which way. We have 3 videos that will make up the broadcast, so let's not sit around unceremoniously and go ahead and get into the situation. All 3 videos are brought to us by, of course, Burnell. First one, DSP, my neighbors know I beg for money to live. I don't care about the age of those who give me money. Hi, Derek. This is from January 18th of 2020, our current year of gout. Second video, DSP, cockroach, the ultimate survivor. I don't do stunts. This is from January 19th of 2020. And the last video that will round up our broadcast, DSP, monthly goal achieved, my business degree is useless, and advice to avoid debts. This is from holy shit. This is from January 20th, 2020, our current year of gout. Okay, so let's not sit around unceremoniously. Let's just go ahead and get into it. Let's just go ahead and carve it up. Ladies and gentlemen, because there are 3 videos, you know what this means, right? 3 opportunities to essentially have breakfast, if you will. So that's a thing. That's kind of cool. I'll let you know when each one of those prompts come in, and this way, you know, it kind of doesn't make it too wonky. Don't expect me to do that every time, but it is what it is. So it is coming. So expect that literally. The first one should come up in literally in like a few minutes into the broadcast. So look out for that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Snort Report, and this is DSP News. Always late, never breaking. Unreliable coverage that you can't count on. Oh yes, a GTG, Networking Productions. You guys all know the slogan. I don't smell no bacon cooking yet, and I don't smell my SnortBucks coffee being brewed. Which means it's time, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to watch me work. Oh boy. Now I wonder what will be for breakfast today. I'm thinking French toast again. Really like French toast. But we'll see though. Maybe something with bacon. Maybe.
This is how I play the game!
Warn everyone. Warning. What you may see right now is going to be absolutely disgusting. Sound good?
Alright, that's... sounds good to me.
Also, somewhere in the broadcast, you're going to see 1, maybe 2 different advertisements of some friends of the channel that'll kind of just pop in. One of them, for sure, will be by our friend Paul, who is working on Season 2 of the DarkSydePhailure series. So definitely look out for that and whatnot. And I'll leave a link to that actual trailer in the description. Please go over there, check out the trailer, check out Paul's channel. Makes great stuff. So definitely something to look out for. Here we go. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we're here with one of our favorites, Burnell, DSP. My neighbors know I beg for money to live, and I don't care about the age of those who give me money. Hi, Derek. This is from January 18th of 2020. Here we go.
So annoying. I hate when my fucking sinuses in my throat are screwing with me, and they are really badly today. The best way that you could contribute, being very matter of fact with all of you, is by tipping me. When you tip me, those are funds that I can use immediately for things like paying bills, buying games, taxes, buying groceries, etc. Ladies man cheered and said, when you moved to Washington, did you warn your neighbors of potential prank calls because of your detractors? When I first moved to Washington State, I had a meeting with the board of directors here in the living facility where I live, the private community. I explained the entire thing to them fully. And they said to me, oh, you know, I wouldn't worry too much. We actually had one time, someone had the police knock down their front door and shit or something like that crazy. And then some other people have had issues, so don't worry. And then I actually got swatted. And then they were like, they clammed up after Joe. Oh, you know, oh, shit.
Wait, I don't remember that. I don't remember that being the story. I thought the story was that when he first moved to Connecticut, he actually reached out to the police out there and told them that, hey, it's possible that, you know, something could happen. Someone could call in false threats or whatever the case was on him. And he just wanted to be proactive with them and let the local authorities essentially know what was going on. He never said shit about talking to his homeowners association about it. I'm just throwing that out there. Maybe he did say it. Maybe. You know what I'm saying? But I don't remember that being a thing. Just throwing that out there though.
So, but yeah, no, they were aware of, you know, what I do for a living.
I e-beg. I beg all the time.
And they know everything about it. So I really doubt anyone around here has gotten any kind of prank calls or anything on my behalf. But anyway, I received another $5 tip. Now he's talking about WWE Supercard. The meme continues. The best part about all this crap is that...
And this is exactly what he did when it came to the foreclosure. You know, that supposed situation that he never actually addressed. He said the exact same thing. The stupid detractor meme, don't bring that up here, yada, yada, yada. Now we're hearing this about WWE champions. Can't wait to hear him remix this later on.
The people who've been hating on me for a few days completely making up nonsense about me playing some mobile game, they can't even get the mobile game right. The game that I thought people were accusing me of playing was called like WWE Champions, but now I've been saying WWE Supercars, like they can't even get their fucking, their memes straight. They can't get their detractor.
Now, how do you know all this? How is it that he's keeping track of what allegedly the detractors, trolls, haters, and critics are doing when he's not paying attention to all of that and he's only focused on putting out positive content and I can't call it quality content, but positive content for his community? How is that a thing? Oh, that's right, because Phil admitted in a tweet, or he admitted it in his chat, that he has people watching detractors and whatnot, and they report back to him. That's some amazing piggy gay ops that we have going on there, ladies and gentlemen. So, I mean, then again, if you guys have been around here for any period of time, or on Tevin or LSB streams, or even in some of the Discords that are kind of floating around, you kind of know this already. So it's nothing new. It's just, it kind of flows in contrary to what he tells people. One minute, I don't care what Tevin and all of them do, and next minute, they're all criminals and they all need to go to jail. One minute, he doesn't give a shit about our content. No one should give a shit about our content. Next minute, he's literally quoting us like we're scripture or something. Seems kind of odd. But semantics. Semantics.
Memes straight, and they crossed the memes. I admitted last night at one point I had played WWE Supercar, but that was many years ago. So, I don't know. They've crossed...
Hey, is crossing the memes, and I'm just asking, is crossing the memes supposed to be like a reference to Ghostbusters, how you're not supposed to cross the actual beams and shit? Was that like... Is that a thing, or is that something I just imagined? I might have just imagined that. But I swore Egon said that they're never supposed to do that, and eventually they end up doing it. Oh well. Shenanigans, I guess.
Broke the fall.
There's something very important I forgot to tell you.
What?
Don't cross the streams.
Why?
It would be bad.
I'm fuzzy on the whole good-bad thing. What do you mean bad?
Try to imagine all life as you know it stopping instantaneously and every molecule in your body exploding at the speed of light.
Total protonic reversal. All right, that's bad. Okay. All right, important safety tip. Thanks, Egon. All right, Ray, take the left. Egon, take the right.
Whatever you do, don't cross the memes. That's what you have to avoid, crossing the memes. You could destroy every thread of existence if you do that. And these idiots have crossed the memes.
Yeah, so, I really feel like that's a Ghostbusters meme. I really feel like that's what that is.
Anyway, thank you again, whoever this is with this stupid meme, another $5 tip. But I have no idea what you're talking about. No, I don't play WWE Supercard, and I'm not going to. Okay.
PW Dubs to me, dog, so, you're giving these detractors attention? I mean, yeah, but the guy's tipping me $5 a pop over nothing, over stupidity. It's so silly. He couldn't do a contribution and say something nice. Instead he has to bring up a fucking detractor. I mean, that's so bullshit.
I mean, you're getting the money for it, so who cares? Unless what I've been saying is true, which is basically what I've been quoting from Wings of Redemption, and that he's catching these chargebacks. And that shit could be a potential drain on him. Because Wings is eating those things left and right. It's kind of sad, actually, to be honest. And I don't mean sad in like a pathetic kind of way. It's just kind of sad. Just kind of sad. So, you look out for the Wings reports when they start rolling out. That should be... Because Wings is going through it right now. Wings is going through it. Hi, Lean's channel.
Anyway, let's continue.
Execute is your reward. Weatherlock orb and a tiny reviver seed. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And with that being said, I mean, I know that's always been a thing too, where people are like, oh, he should actually put the troll cheers up on, or the troll tips up on the leaderboard, but if it's getting charged back, then in truth, it may not really matter. Especially since with the chargeback, it's going to cost him money too in the end. So, well, more often than not. So, we'll touch on that more in the Wings report.
I'm a mature adult.
Or maybe I should call it the Look Here Listen report. Or maybe I should just call it the Redemption report. Oh, that would be dope.
Business degree.
We got another asshole troll trying to tell me how to count. He can go fuck himself. I don't give a shit. So suck my ass, you dick. Okay.
Yeah, I got a troll tip from an idiot telling me, oh, you gotta count the troll tips too. I don't have to do shit, so blow me. Well, what do you do with troll money? Well, if I actually get to keep troll money, I keep it and I spend it on important things. Cherry.
Well, never mind. Thank you, Phil, for confirming that more often than not, you do get charged back. Which only makes sense because, yet again, Wings and DSP and Low Tier God to a lot of degrees, or to some degree, have a crossover audience. So I find it rather dubious to believe that Wings of Redemption is going to eat all these chargebacks and DSP doesn't eat any of them. And especially at the frequency that Wings gets his chargebacks, I would find it's a bit egregious to think that DSP doesn't eat any of those either. It just seems kind of silly. You know what I mean? I mean, let's be honest, not everybody's going to like you. If Twitch loves you and your streams, I very likely doubt PayPal loves you, or even likes you. They kind of just tolerate you.
If I don't, because the assholes charge it back on PayPal, I spend months going back and forth with PayPal trying to convince PayPal that I deserve the money because the troll is trying to scam. And the results are hit or miss.
I don't think the process of that is even being honest either. Because I don't see Wings of Redemption spending months on it. And to be honest, for a dispute, I would assume something like that is done. It's actually like cleared up or it's been settled and within the books in the span of a week, not months. Why would, and I want you guys to kind of think about this for a minute, why would PayPal freeze, let's say, a couple of, or not even a couple, let's be a little bit more reasonable. Why would PayPal freeze 20 transactions of $2 to $5 each for months so they can be disputed? I want you to think about that for a minute. Why would they waste the manpower on something like that? Like, has anybody ever really kind of come to that conclusion? They're not going to spend months on it. To be honest with you, it's starting to sound a whole lot like that situation with Curse and the reason why they dropped him. You guys remember that story, don't you? Remember? They love him and they love what he does, but they kept getting all these reports, these troll reports on him, and they just couldn't afford to keep up with it. And DSP told them, oh, well, why don't you just disregard that? Because this is a special circumstance. Because Phil's a special fucking snowflake. A unique special snowflake. It's starting to sound like that. And it makes you wonder, how long would PayPal be willing to go through that until PayPal's like, you know what? Maybe we don't want to do business with you no more. Now, keep in mind, PayPal isn't like Patreon, where Patreon would be quick to throw people off of their platform. I'm not saying PayPal would do it like that. But it does make you wonder exactly how much patience PayPal actually has. Just something to think about. Just something to think about. DSP News.
Most of the time I win. Every once in a while I don't. In reality, it's not a big deal, but it's a little annoying. It's just a lot more work for me.
But wait a second. I thought you told us, I thought the mythos, I thought the piggy lore was I always win. I always win. No matter what. They always, the judgment's always in your favor. Oh, well then it was, well, I kind of win. Or, you know, a lot of it, I just kind of, sometimes I win, sometimes I don't, sometimes they break even. You know, it's whatever. And then it became, I always keep the money no matter what. Even if, and this is King Tut, this is the King Tut saga now. Oh, well, you know, I won all that. King Tut never got any of his money back. A couple of weeks later. Okay, well, King Tut, it's possible King Tut may have gotten his money back, but I still kept the money that he gave me, so I didn't give up anything, so I don't care. And then it was like, no, I definitely won. There was no way that King Tut won. And then we just dropped it. So it's kind of funny how the story has changed quite a bit from, oh, I don't know, late 2017 up till now. Womp womp.
So, gee, no surprise, I told you guys. I absolutely told you guys that these asshole trolls who send me some of these insulting tips that they would try to charge them back, and indeed, it looks like some of them are trying. I'm not surprised. I knew that was going to happen. And all it's going to do is cause a lot of annoyance for me. But fuck it. I'm going to do it because that's money I deserve. They wanted to tip and try to insult me on the fucking stream. Well, tough shit.
And see, how stupid are you to tell people that, hey, excuse me, how stupid are you to tell people that, hey, yeah, these people, they send, like, in his words, nasty, whatever. They send insulting, like, tips to me, and then they charge it back, and it's annoying for me, but I'm gonna keep fighting for it. Then what's to stop them from doing it? If you didn't give it any attention, if you didn't give it any light, then you wouldn't have any problems. Just like how he shouldn't have had Tevin and those other two fellows kicked off of Twitch. Now he can't do nothing but deal with the fallout of that. He still is, to be honest with you. If you think about that scenario, I want you to think about this scenario briefly, even though, you know me, I talk too goddamn much, so I'm not actually being brief. But ever since he had those three guys kicked off of that platform, and you could say that Tevin is basically extracting, not to say that Tevin is, because I don't think he's that petty, but I would if I was Tevin. But if you think about it, Tevin's extracting revenge, doing what he does on YouTube every time he streams. He knows it gets under Phil's skin. He knows it pissed Phil off. But Phil was the one who threw the first shot, in the words of Howard. He threw the first shot and got these guys deplatformed for doing nothing, essentially, especially around that time. And now Phil's sitting here crying about, at least Tevin anyway, and he's on a whole nother platform. And Phil is actively trying to get Tevin deplatformed off of YouTube. He did it to himself. You see how he turned a situation from what was a mild annoyance to now something completely fucking worse? Think about what you did, Phil. I want you to think about this for a second, or for any Phil or DSP pay pigs that are here. What did Tevin end up make off that charity stream? How much did Tevin make, I should say, off that charity stream? 12,000? So that beat SOK by 2,000, and we praised them for it. No matter what, we people praise them for it. So you let two big detractors who are considered influential in their communities, or at one time one of them were anyway, in their communities, make a large amount of money off of you that went to something that didn't even benefit you. They made money that you couldn't make off of yourself, or off of your quote-unquote talents and abilities and skills, and use that to help other people. And you could say to glorify themselves too, but that's debatable. I don't think Tevin did it for glorification. How stupid must you be if you're Phil Burnell, if you're DSP, if you're DarkSydePhailure? And are any of us surprised, based off of that the drunken peasants and that quarter pounder and whoever else didn't try to come in and get a piece of that? I mean, at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, pulled pork is pulled pork. And if it's seasoned right, who's to say they wouldn't want to come in and grab a piece of it? And that's all Phil really is. He's someone to be exploited. That's really what it comes down to. And as sad as that is, and as egregious as most of you might think it is for me to say that, it's true. He's merely there to be exploited. And he can't even do anything about it. Because Twitch is already bending him over, as if Phil has a problem with being bent over anyway. And so, between Twitch doing it, after Machinima was done with him, after Curse was done with him, after, I mean, Blip didn't even really get the chance and whatnot, he fucked himself out of that deal. Just like with Machinima, actually, in a lot of ways. Now, he's getting exploited by his alleged enemies, right? And he can do nothing about it. And he cries about it every day, almost. Oh, I wish I could do this. I wish I could flag him. I wish YouTube would take him down. You already got him deplatformed off one platform. You've already had him deplatformed once. Do you want him wiped away from the internet? All because he has an opinion that's opposed to yours? There's something to think about. DSP News.
Yeah. I'm keeping your money, asshole. Okay. I need that money. I really do. I need that money to pay my bills. I need that money to pay my bills. Penne is not my actual favorite form of pasta. It's just a silly joke from something that I said on a stream like years ago. I would say my overall favorite pasta.
Stop picking at your pork rind, sir. You can't sell it if you're already picking at it.
I think anything that's a small pasta that you can fork and eat easily, especially pasta that tends to pick up toppings and sauce easily. I actually, even though I'll eat it at a restaurant as like a side dish, I would never like want to have a main dish of, say, like spaghetti, because it's
spaghetti. Since when has spaghetti been relegated to a side dish? Oh, okay. Jesus Christ.
So messy. Spaghetti is like, it goes everywhere. There's sauce flying off of it. You go to pick it up, you gotta twirl it and shit. It's like a pain in the ass to eat. I think it's okay as a side dish, if you got something.
You said, you remember how he used to say that DSP tries this were a pain in the ass because he just wants to eat, and if he's hungry, he should just eat. Now, literally, picking up a fork, okay, possibly a spoon if you go to authentic, Italian restaurants and shit, but picking up a fork and spinning that fork a couple of times in a pile of noodles is a pain in the ass. It's too much work. Oh, that's good. That's real good. Now eating food is a chore, ladies and gentlemen. No. Serving yourself food and then in the process of eating that food is a chore. God damn. We're 37, by the way. We're 37. Only leave our house once a week. And when we do leave our house, we go to 3 separate places to eat because they don't cook at all that day. That's apparently Catherine's day off. And it's a chore to go to a restaurant, sit down, order a meal that someone else had to prepare for you, and it's a chore for you to sit there and eat it. For you to shovel it from your plate and or bowl into your gullet, into your snout. That's a problem. That little bit of space is an issue. Jesus Christ. Oh man, that's just wonderful.
Else is your main course. I wouldn't want to eat a giant fucking plate of spaghetti like this. It's too much of a pain in the ass. Just give me like a plate rigatoni, a plate of penne, a plate of farfalle, any kind of a small pasta you can pick up easily. That's better.
Then that's not a joke. That's not a meme. What the fuck are you talking about? You went ahead and just reinforced why you said it in the first place, idiot. Oh boy.
Me. So penne. Oh, penne pasta is great. I prefer penne because it's easier to eat. You gotta slurp it. It gets all over the sauce. There's something to eat it properly. It's fun and delicious. You eat it easily.
Andy131 resubscribed for 8 months. He says, in my dreams you have a cape and a white horse. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. But I guess you see me at, what do you think? I'm like a knight in shining armor or something? I don't know. Certainly don't see myself like that. Super Kawaii Gal cheered again says, how do you feel about kids donating money like Derek Blaine and myself? Well, first of all, you say kids. You don't know shit. I can tell you, I can smell the saltiness. You don't know, I don't care about the ages of my viewers. You know what I mean? Like, I can't control that. And I can't control what people contribute. Everyone is welcome to contribute whatever they like. When I was a teenager, if I could get nearly unlimited content from someone on the internet, and I felt enough that it was awesome, and I wanted to have that keep going, and I threw a couple bucks their way, I think that would have been fine. Alright? What you're implying here is that, kids giving money is bad. Well, yeah, little kids, alright? Yes. Teenagers? No. You've already hit the...
What, teenagers? I mean, how many Okay, hold up. Let's figure out a way how we're going to do this. Kids, no. Teenagers, yes. I don't know how old Derek was when he stole his mommy's credit card to give you money, and for how long. He must have been doing it for a little while. Not too long, but long enough until he got caught. And then he had to... Then somehow he gave you a cheer. No, maybe he didn't. He may have not cheered. He may have just said something in the chat that he couldn't give him money anymore. Okay, sorry. Here's the story behind some of this. Tevin will tell it to you better. But Derek must have been underage. He certainly wasn't old enough to have a credit card, and he probably was too young to have a bank account, or at least a bank account that he could have regular access to. He ends up coming on stream one day and says, "Hey Phil, I'm sorry I can't give you money anymore. My mom found out I was taking her credit card to give you donations." He's like, it's okay, Derek, no problem. Derek, going above and beyond as all good pay piggies do, proceeded to beg, keyword, beg, other pay piggies to do donations on his behalf, which a couple of people did, because Derek had been around for a while. That's where that whole meme kind of comes from. I know most of you guys are more familiar with, all right, Derek, have a good night, Derek. But that's kind of what Derek really did. He was stealing his mom's credit card, or using his mom's credit card, to send Phil money until his parents got wise to it. And who's to say that Derek is the only one? But yet again, that's kind of the problem. That you have some of these random kids running around here giving you, or giving him, their milk money, or whatever allowance money that they have, to help him out. Which is egregious, ladies and gentlemen, for multiple reasons, but the main one is, he's 37 years old. He's already fucked his life up. You don't have to pay for that. All his job is to do is to entertain you. Period. Feeling bad for him is optional. But his job is to entertain you. And by you watching ads, right, it helps with that situation. Now, granted, if you want to tip him or contribute or donate or throw charity at him, charity bucks, then so be it. That's your choice. But Phil doesn't actually make it a choice, though. He kind of makes it seem like it's an obligation. And if you're young, impressionable, and more than likely stupid, you're gonna feel obligated to do so. You're gonna feel obligated to try to find ways to give him money. So after your own money has been exhausted, what normally happens? You pull a Derek. You pull a Derek and you go and get mommy's money, which is probably what Sidella does too. That's kind of what happens, and that's where the issue is. And the fact that he still isn't man enough to address it is still kind of sad too. But whatever.
Reason. You know, I don't know how old people are. You know, you're saying, oh, Derek or whatever. I don't know how old Derek is. I don't know how old my viewers are. I don't pay attention to that shit. I don't judge my viewers on their age. I don't judge them. You know what I mean? Like, that's ludicrous that you would even.
But this is the same guy who says he's not a children's entertainer and he doesn't have kids in his audience, when it's very obvious that he does. Oh well.
Do that. So let me put it this way: my age of my viewers is none of my business. It's none of your business. And if you're nosy enough to be prying into that shit, chances are you're an asshole. All right. So cut that shit out.
Alright, well, with that being said then, ladies and gentlemen, it's fair for one to presume that some of those chargebacks every month is probably some parent who realized that little Timmy or little whoever was using their credit card to tip Phil. Because it's not like, ladies and gentlemen, there has been multiple instances, ultimate occasions, you know what I'm saying, where Phil hasn't told them how to use a credit card to go ahead and send him money. It's not like that's not a thing. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Rooney wanted me $2. It's time to storm the hospitals and take our foreskins back. That's one of the most disgusting things I've ever heard. But thank you for the $2 tip regardless. Let's get you up on the leaderboard.
Anything for this, right?
Motherpucka Jones did a 300-bit cheer. Thank you, Motherpucka Jones, for a 300-bit cheer this morning. Actually, I said this afternoon. It just turned afternoon. Nimlex did a 100-bit cheer. Says, do you think that people only dislike you based on rumors? I would say it's a combination. Some people probably dislike me genuinely for things that I've done. Some people dislike me because of things people have said about me, and or ways that people have portrayed me in an unfair or not realistic light in order to get personal benefit for themselves, okay? The vast majority of people out there who...
Since when has life been fair? And then on top of that, for someone who's chosen to put every aspect of his life over the span of a decade plus, out on the internet for some type of notoriety, for some type of profitability, for just to feed his own ego, whatever, right? To keep furthering the gout, whatever. Why are you upset that the stuff that you put out there was going to be used against you later? Especially when a lot of it contradicts something that you've said before that. He's constantly contradicting himself. Even if a story sounds about 70, I'll be generous and say 70% right, then the other 30 gets remixed for no reason, which completely destroys everything he said before that. And then 2 months later, it becomes a whole new story altogether. If he told the truth, then none of this would matter, because no one can use your truth against you. But his natural instinct is the lie about everything. And then you go on top of that, you've chosen to go out of your way to attack people. Whether they were bigger than you or smaller than you is irrelevant. If they're smaller than you, then you're punching down. Do what you got to do. If they were bigger than you and you get squashed and then you ran to Twitter or you ran to your own little website or your little forums and decided to pig squeal about, look at what they're doing to me, yeah, again, that's your fault too. You're not a very good person. Now, granted, it's the internet. There's a lot of people that aren't very good people, but they didn't put their lives out there, or they didn't exploit their lives and the people in it for profit for over 10 years. That's what it comes down to. Now, what I think of DSP is what I think of DSP. Period. And then you guys go ahead. All I do is report to you what I see here. I'm just giving you my opinion. You go ahead and form your own opinion off the side of that. No one's trying to go ahead and build up the Galtopia militia, especially since, in truth, it's more of an army now and it's split up amongst multiple detractors. So that's a whole different story in itself. But he brought this all upon himself. All people are doing is giving an opinion on the situation, and the majority of them are actually go out of their way to try to prove it. How can you contradict your own words? Especially when it's thrown into your face. So even if you have someone who's never watched anything that DSP's put out, but you watch detractor content, what are you watching at its bare minimum? At its source? At its nucleus? You're watching him. You're watching him. It's cleaned up a little bit. It's a bit more palatable. You know, it might be slightly edible, but that's what you're watching. You're still watching him. So how does he not think or not realize that what people base their opinions off of is him at its source, at its base, at its core? I'll never know.
Don't like me, don't know me. They haven't actually sat down and watched a stream to see what I'm all about, to see if my streams are entertaining. They ignore that. Instead, they just listen to the drama. But you want to know why? It's because those people aren't in it looking for good gameplay streams. They're in it for drama, you know? And that's the sad fact, is there's so many people who just care about drama. That's what they want. So when you seek that out, of course you're going to find it, and that's what they get from these idiots. That, you know, somehow these idiots completely...
If that's the case, and he's seeking for people to see him in a positive light, why has he failed at that? If it's true that if you're going to go out and search for drama, you can find it, why is it that someone who preaches, and I use that term very loosely, positivity, never can actually come forth and actually do it? Or ever show it? Why is there no evidence of it? Because the scales kind of go both ways on that. If you're truly a positive person, then that shit will eventually shine through, despite what your past was. But if you're a negative piece of shit, if you started off on YouTube, if you started off on the internet as a negative piece of shit, why would anybody think that you would become positive? You can wish for it to be positive all you want with that DSP bullshit, that DSP positive. But obviously, like anything else and almost everything else in Phil's life, he failed at it. So who's really at fault? If Phil is known for being a toxic piece of shit, and someone comes across some detractor content and they're like, oh wow, this guy really exists, or someone like this really exists, then what do? You go ahead and you put his name into the YouTube search engine and you see what else pops up. So now, if you have multiple people that are all in line with the same type of narrative, what outweighs what? The word of the idiot who has all these hot takes about all these different people, always in a negative light, by the way, unless he thinks he can get some clout off of it. Or the individuals who basically report on his bullshit, or who put out his content, right, in a much more, like I said, more palatable sort of way, who are just like, hey, this is what he did. We just cut out the bullshit. Who actually outweighs who? And at the end of the day, it's still just him. It's still just Phil. You're just cutting out the bullshit. And he can sit there and say, oh, well, you're taking it out of context, or you have to watch the whole stream to get what I'm trying to say. No one has time for that. And Phil has even admitted that detractors don't edit his stuff in such a way to where they're completely changing the narrative. He's admitted that. He's admitted detractors don't do that. So then what's the problem? Maybe it's not us. Maybe it's just you. But it can never be just DSP. That's egregious. Semantics.
Non-stop have found ways to fabricate drama in regards to me, and it's to the point where there's no point in addressing the shit anymore, because no matter what I say or do, the next thing will come. It's one of two things. Either whatever I say and do isn't enough to disprove what they're saying in their eyes, no matter, even if I completely discredit it, they don't care. They still say it's not enough. Or, if I do completely discredit something, they move on to the next thing. What's the next thing we can
Wait, why would you care what we think? Because you think that would make us stop? But if we're making so much money and we're getting so much clout off you, why would we bother doing so? I'm just saying, I'm going by Phil's narrative. Because every detractor, because according to Phil, every detractor who does detractor content, you're doing it for clout and money. That's what this all comes down to. Clout and money. So why would his words change any of those aspects if that's what the parameters of this relationship is? If this symbiotic relationship, if these people who are riding on his coattails, if it's all about profit and clout, which is funny because those are the only things he gives a shit about and that's what he chases on a day-to-day basis. Semantics, though. If that's really what this is all about, then why would any of us stop? Why would anybody care what the truth is? And to make that even more interesting, why is it that you have a YouTube community that surrounds that, one forum, Kiwi Farms, Encyclopedia Dramatica, Lolcow Wiki, Twitter, Reddit? Supposedly someone told me there's a Facebook group out there on this. Why is the community as a whole so large and in some way so powerful if it's all a lie? Why is there a website out? Well, there's two of them. There's the DSP Institute. If you guys haven't checked that out, you should. That shit's godlike. I'll leave the link down to the description. You can check that out. Why is there the DSP Institute and there's pigpiggo.net? Why do those two websites exist? And why do they exist in showing and proving the inconsistencies about what Phil does on a daily basis, on being how he treats people, what he says to people, who he bans and why he bans them? Why do these things exist if it was all a lie? Seems a whole lot of trouble to go through. And more importantly, the person who started pigpig.go or pigpiggo.net, where's his check? The guy who started DSP Industries, or the DSP Institute, I'm sorry. Where's their check? Where's everybody on Twitter's money? Where's everybody on Kiwi Farms' money? Where is all the clout and all this money everywhere if that's really a thing? I'm so confused. I'm so very confused. It's almost, ladies and gentlemen, it's almost as if the more negative aspects of himself, he tries to put that onto his enemies and thinks he's going to really walk out of this clean, which is really pathetic, by the way. Oh well, DSP News.
Because drama, because this one's over, right? So there's no point about it anymore. There's just no point. I just don't bother with it, okay?
All right, Penne God now did a $3 tip to become the top tipper and says, I prefer a penne. Well, there you go. I'm glad that you prefer the penne. Let's get you up on the leaderboard.
I only eat penne. Penne, man.
Boss Hog cheered again and says, your biggest problem with doing house tours is people wondering how much you spent on something. That was part of it. Like, no lie. How insane is this? I'm walking through my house. Oh, here's our kitchen or whatever. Oh my God. Look at that coffee maker. That looks expensive. Then someone would look on Amazon. That coffee maker sells for $500 on Amazon, man. The truth of the matter is the coffee maker's 5 years old. I bought it when it was new years ago, and it sold for like $150 or something like that. And that's a coffee maker I had since I was back in Connecticut, okay? The reason that coffee maker's $500 on fucking Amazon is because it's outdated, out of print. You can't buy it anymore. And people liked that model, so like there's a few left, and people are selling them for exorbitant prices. But this is what people would do, and then they would post it. Phil says that he...
Now, here's the thing. I don't remember, because I've seen some of those walkthroughs of his condo. I don't remember seeing that coffee maker. I remember seeing a shitload of fucking statues. I remember seeing a bunch of fucking dumbass meal replacement, a bunch of energy drinks shit. I remember seeing some alcohol. I certainly remember seeing a panini press that was completely, totally, I want to say emasculated in a lot of ways with that tuna melt. That was a really disgusting thing. I remember seeing that. What other appliances did he have? I think he just had the panini maker. What else did you have there? I think that was really the only thing that was on that counter. Because I've seen him do DSP tries off that counter. And I don't remember seeing a coffee maker. And why would one buy a coffee maker and then just sit on it for years? And then break it out when... Excuse me. And then break it out for when he moves to his house. But why would you buy it years in advance, not even knowing if you would ever be able to get that house? Was that supposed to be for that office in Connecticut that you wanted to get, that you never end up doing? Like, you kind of gotta explain some of that. But let him continue.
Financial straits, but he has a $500 coffee maker in his house. And you're like, what the fuck is going on with these weirdos? You know, and it's insanity, the stuff that they do. Absolutely.
And another thing, he says he justifies buying that coffee maker. So back then, or he justified buying that coffee maker back then. My apologies, because he was gonna have a coffee every once in a while to give him a pick me up when he streams. Despite the fact that he didn't start streaming until what, 2013, and then the following year he was out of there. And before that, he was drinking a bunch of sodas and all kinds of crazy energy drinks and eating caffeine, marshmallows, and gum and all kinds of silly shit like that. So what the hell would he have needed coffee for? And I don't think John and Howard may have drank coffee, but I don't think they drank it there. And I don't think Panda was drinking any coffee either. Or at least not at that time. So, yet again, what was the actual justification for buying that coffee machine, or that coffee maker back then? Just throwing it out there.
Stupidity and insanity. So... You know, for me, it stopped being fun. It did. It actually stopped being fun doing those kind of videos because people would be so gross with the stuff that they would say. And of course, you know, showing stuff around, oh, look at this, you know, everyone has something negative to say because they're dickheads, rather than understanding that here's someone opening their life to share it with you and have some kind of like a connection with you.
For profit, by the way. For profit. Those videos did have ads on it. It wasn't like he put a vlog out there and whatnot, it wasn't monetized. There were ads on it. There still are, actually.
And instead, you're just gonna be dick about it, right? So that's why I stopped. You know, it's been a while. I'm not doing those ever again.
I'm still 100% banned from the whole sponsored stream program on Twitch.
That's a lie, by the way.
Twitch loves me and my streams.
Now here's a stupid one. Snooty Roo did 100-bit cheer.
I want you to think about this for a minute. Do you guys remember when Twitch did that little promotion thing? It was some type of overreaction shit, and there was a bunch of different people on that situation. There was a bunch of people on that ad, if you will, and DSP was one of them. They misspelled his name, which is hilarious, but he was on it. Why would you promote somebody like that, but yet cut them from the bounty board? Now, a few of you are going to be very clever and know what I'm leading into, and are going to say, well, GTG, what about that one guy on Twitch who is only he's not partner yet. He's only like an affiliate. And yet he has I think he consistently has more views than anybody. Or almost anybody. And he's only an affiliate. He's been trying to go for partnership for the longest time and they never get him. And they never partner him. But recently, he was in another one of those little gimmick promotions. And now people are starting to think, oh, well, maybe Twitch will finally start to partner him. Well, that was the first time they put him in a gimmick promotion. That's the first thing. Second thing is, there's a lot of people who get fucked out of getting partnered on Twitch for whatever reason. That's your next thing. Third, the guy wasn't banned. It's just for whatever reason, it's extremely hard for this guy to get partnered. I'm sorry I don't know his name. Or I don't know his name off the top of my head anyway. With that being said, if that's the scenarios we're going to try to go ahead and appeal to, let's say this is a sign and this guy might actually get partnered by Twitch. If that's the case, why would Twitch go ahead and put somebody into a small advertisement on their Twitter account? Why would they put somebody on an advertisement for their company on their Twitter account who's banned off their bounty board system? or banned from any of the extracurriculums that have to do with their site. What sense would that make? Especially someone like Phil, who don't really have views. He's stagnant. He's a dead channel for all intents and purposes, outside of the money he begs for. Why would they feel the need to promote him if he's banned off one of the most lucrative events that is on their site? Why would you do that? Just throwing it out there. DSP News.
Can't you just log into your WWE game account and hold your phone up to the camera and disprove detractors? Oh my god. Boy, people don't listen, but this is the thing. Real gullible, stupid, simple-minded people think it's that easy. Let's say right now, alright, first of all, I logged into my old-ass game account from WWE Supercard from years ago that I've admitted that's a game that I played a lot for about 2 years. And I held it up to the camera.
Which he's talking about Supercard. We're talking about WWE Champions. You see that? Did anybody catch that? Let's continue.
Right? It wouldn't matter what it showed. It literally wouldn't matter what it showed. They would find a way to spin that into a negative. They would find that would be a negative, okay? Now, that's the thing, at this point, I can't even figure out what the meme is, because people now tell me it could be this one WWE game that I played years ago, or a WWE game that I played for a few months, a couple years ago. I don't even know what the fuck they're talking about anymore, because I don't follow the shit, and I'm so confused in my head. This guy says
I don't follow the shit, but multiple people, sorry about that. I don't follow the shit, but multiple people tell me this, and they tell me that, and they tell me this, and they tell me that. But I don't follow it, though. I'll listen to it. I'll go ahead and regurgitate it to you here as if I was on the forums and I was reading what the posts were that people were saying about me, or I'm looking at the retweets from certain prominent Twitter accounts that are talking about this, but I don't follow it and I don't know shit about this. I have little to no knowledge about any of this, but yet I'm pretty much laying out the whole story to you, which is a typical DarkSydePhailure tactic. I don't know shit, and then he lays out the whole scenario to you. Alright, buddy.
Someone else, it's another game. I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about anymore. Because even you idiots can't get your shit straight, so I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. I don't care. I'm not gonna waste fucking time holding phones up and showing you shit. You're out of your fucking mind. In addition, like I said, chances are, what would happen? I hold it up, oh god, there was something.
So, wait a second. So this idiot right here, excuse me, would go ahead and hold up a folder with blank papers, supposedly being his taxes being prepared. Taxes that he later on admitted that he never paid, which is kind of strange, by the way. Semantics, though. He would do that, but he wouldn't hold up his phone and prove that he's not playing WWE Championships. That the app is not even on his phone. He won't even do that. Okay.
On the screen now, that's more personal information that got out that they can use against me. Fuck this. And fuck you for even bringing that shit up. How about that?
He almost got me toxic. He almost got me toxic.
Junior Mint did a 100-bit cheer. See, here you go. They're saying you spent $140,000 on a wrestling mobile game.
I think it was only $40,000. I think he went ahead and remixed that the way he wanted as a way of discrediting the actual truth, which just shows how much more pathetic he is. Just fess up to it or deny it. Don't sit there and exaggerate it, thinking that will cause people to dismiss it. That never works.
$140,000. What the fuck? The best part about this is that when they started, it was like 3 or 4 days ago, and it was like $10,000. Then people started saying 20, then 40. Now it's apparently $140,000. And that douche kid did 100-bit cheers. All you got to do is show your username is and bam, the detractors are defeated and make them even less credible. Wrong. Okay, I'm going to say one quick thing about this, and then we're going to take a break, and we're going to move on to the next segment. As I said, any little bit of information that I give you guys will be used against me. Perfect example here. Let's say I bring up a mobile game, and I show you my name in the game. That name that's in the game,
supposedly, though, you gave up mobile games when you and Catherine became a thing. You told us that, despite the fact that you lied, and you've already been called out for that lie. And when you and Catherine got married in April, you actually paid for 2 data plans so you guys could play your mobile games on the plane. So how are you going to show us a mobile game that you supposedly don't play no more? You didn't think that went over, did you? It's alright, Pumpkin. Let's continue.
Will immediately scour the fucking internet for anywhere that name's been used, try to find old accounts of mine, try to find...
Can't scour the internet for something that supposedly doesn't exist.
Other things that maybe could or could not be me because of that name. The truth of the matter is that when I play mobile games, a lot of the times I don't use my real name or my online personas. Reason being,
Reason being what? You're not supposed to be playing mobile games. You said you gave them up. So why is it that we're throwing hypothetical scenarios of mobile games that he does play, but they're not with his real name, when he already told us that he doesn't play mobile games anymore? The fuck is this? It's ridiculous.
Do that a while ago, and people then were doing stuff to me. I never talk about this because I know it's fucked up. There were 2 times with previous mobile games way back when...
Wait, so you'll sit there and talk about how Tevin does this and Tevin does that and Tevin needs to go to jail, but shit's going on behind the scenes that you've never given an inkling of anything about anything, and you'll never talk about it because it's so fucked up? So this one dude publicly who puts himself out there to make entertaining content, he needs to go to jail. But there are other shit going on behind the scenes that you don't want to talk about who do much more egregious shit than everything that we're doing. And they don't deserve jail time? Well, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, Phil. Does it?
That people tried to hack the accounts, people tried to pretend that they were me, they impersonated me, and actually were contacting like the customer support of the companies saying, oh, I'm DarkSydePhailure, and here's my information, and I want control of this account. And one time I actually got locked out of my account because of it, okay? So, the last thing I would ever want to do is show you any information about any account that I've ever used, ever.
Sure.
The only reason that I wasn't insanely badly off financially early in 2019, as I told you guys, was because there was this guy, Emerald7, who late in 2018 gifted a ridiculous amount of tier 3 subscriptions to me on stream, which gave me a ton of extra money. So essentially, Emerald7 made it possible for me to be able to go to Connecticut. If Emerald7 hadn't done that, I basically...
Wait. How does that make sense? And see, I already addressed this in the last broadcast a little bit, but since, I mean, if you're going to put yourself out there to get cut up, then so be it. First things first, how is it that Emerald 7 allowed you to go to Connecticut when your parents paid for the whole trip? First thing. Second thing, didn't you not, and I'm pretty sure I brought this up in the last broadcast, but didn't you not collect something like $2,000+ literally the day before you left? So how is that not a thing? So now we got problems, ladies and gentlemen. Supposedly Emerald 7 money, right, helped carry the day so he could go to Connecticut so he could see his dying parents and so he could get married. But that's a direct contradiction because he told us Mommy and Daddy Burnell paid for that whole trip, all expenses paid and everything, and gave him pocket money and supposedly put down the money for the down payment, or put down the first large bit of money for his taxes or for his tax payment plan or whatever. The same supposed tax payment plan that we're hearing now that he didn't pay? Huh. And there's still the money, that the $2,000+ he made before he left. Literally the day before he left. Or a day or two. And then, not to mention the Jasper money we end up catching later on. Well, that was later on down the line. My bad. I think I said that Jasper money was in like a week span, and I think that was actually much later on. My apologies. You guys know, but you guys get my drift. There was the podcast when he came back, and he made himself a little bit of money there too. But now Emerald 7 was the one who carried the day? Well, that seems weird. Let's let him continue.
I've been able to do it. So I have to tell you, whoever Emerald 7 is, thank you.
Oh, yeah. And what happened to King Tut? You remember, Phil, you remember King Tut? He was there before Emerald 7 was. And all that Tut money. You know, that money that he charged back, and I can't remember if he showed proof or not, but I kind of believe that he did get his money back. But you said there was no way he got his money back. What about that money? Oh, so I guess you are confirming in a somewhat absent-minded type of way that Tut did actually get all his money back and you got fucked. Which means that King Tut, that means that the Emerald 7 money came in to cover the overdraft fees and anything else that he may have occurred, because as soon as that Tut money came in, he was spending it. So now you're spending money you don't have. If he charged all that shit back and he actually got it, Phil would have been left at a pretty big deficit. Oh boy. Oh boy.
No exaggeration, you're probably the main reason why I was able to get married in 2019. I don't know who you are, but you
The main reason, what happened to Mommy Burnell? Look at him. Look at his face right now. I know it's a hideous thing to look at, but please, for me, for just a few minutes. Well, a minute. This idiot right here told us that Mommy covered all that. Mommy and Daddy covered all of that. Mommy and Daddy Burnell made all of that happen for him and Catherine to get married. But you're going to give the credit for that marriage to some faceless dude that you don't even know. But then again, this is the same idiot who talked down that same marriage and that same wedding, saying that, oh, they just kind of gave us a little event and a couple family members showed over. It wasn't anything big. I mean, it was nice for what it was. But you didn't have any money at all, so shouldn't you have been grateful either which way? To be able to be even put in a position to marry your soulmate? But now you want to go ahead and redcon all of that and give credit to some faceless dude online. See how much of an ungrateful piece of shit I keep telling you guys he is? Just because I keep saying it doesn't mean you have to believe it, but he kind of said it himself. Womp womp.
Positively impacted our lives in a really, really positive way, and I want to say thank you sincerely so much for that, because it was such a great positive time in our lives, and you
I'm sorry, if you're going to suck dick, shouldn't you be on your knees? I'm just saying, for clarification's sake. Just thought I'd put that out there. Not that I'm speaking on Emerald 7's behalf or anything, but I mean, if you're gonna go ahead and proceed to do what you're about to do, shouldn't you be taking the position? Just throwing it out there.
You don't even understand how much of a positive impact you had on us, so thank you so much for that, okay?
Now, I'll be honest with all of you. When Tutankhamun came along, it was kind of like a godsend. Still has indoctrinated.
About that part. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go into our next tasty segment and whatnot, because it's a thing. It's just kind of something that we do and whatnot. As you guys know, and I'll try to be brief about this, we want to see Catherine be a better cook in 2020. 2020 is going to be her year. Maybe. Either which way, we want to see her do better. And apparently, one of the few places that she has any worth, Phil's words, not mine, is in the kitchen. So we just want to do our part. So we're going to go ahead and proceed with that, and we'll see you guys for the next video coming up. So enjoy that. We'll see you guys in a few minutes.
Children who send him money, blatantly milking for money. It's a money pit. It's gone, just gone like that. In an instant, fucking gone. I just care about money. I just can't help it. I eBay. Contributions are mandatory, but I need your help. I am appealing directly to you.
is how I play the game! Oh my god! What the fuck?
Holy shit! That is an epic fucking intro, dude.
And I have to warn everyone. Warning. What you may see right now is going to be absolutely disgusting.
Sound good?
Alright, that's... sounds good to me.
I just want to say...
I'm glad that Kat appreciates what we do here. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here with the second video that's going to make up our broadcast. Brought to you by Burnell. DSP. Cockroaches. Or Cockroach, the ultimate survivor. And I don't do stunts. This is from January 18th of 2020, our current year of gout. Here we go.
Thank you yesterday for allowing me to kind of, for the first time in a long time, talk about some private stuff that's been going on and understanding how important it was that I talk about that publicly and get that out there. I know many of you only come to my streams for gameplay and for chill. And that's perfectly great. You know, I'm happy with that people want to come and chill with me every day. But yesterday during that podcast, I had some private stuff I had to disclose, you know, for good reason. And I feel that overall, it went well.
He honestly didn't disclose much of anything that we didn't already know. Let's be honest. There wasn't too much there that we didn't already know. And there's all kinds of inconsistencies and all that shit anyway. But what could one expect from DarkSydePhailure?
Always going to have the element of people who are really disgusting and toxic and negative and are going to turn it into something gross. Which of course they did. And they tried to make me feel like dirt. Which I already felt like dirt for the whole situation going on. And there's nothing much you can do about that. And then
then if I call you a pig and you are a pig, how are you going to get mad at me for calling you a pig? You are what you are. So you were already dirt. A bunch of people made you reaffirm the fact that you're dirt, and you're upset because they made you feel like dirt. Okay, that makes no sense whatsoever, but alright. Aim high, Phil. Aim high.
Tried to compound it. I was feeling kind of down.
I mean, to be honest with you, if they made you feel like dirt because you are dirt, I mean, then, you know, you can do nothing but, it's nothing but going up from here then, right? Like, it couldn't get any worse, right? It's not like he's going to become gorilla feces or anything, right? Define sniff.
But definitely you guys, you know, have propped me up a little bit. And I want to say thank you for your support and your understanding. Thank you for always supporting me, you know. It means a lot. It means a lot because I've been through so many ups and downs in over 11 years that I've been a content creator for the internet. And I have shared so much with you guys over the years of stuff that's been going on in my life and everything. And it's like I've told you guys, this whole journey has been a series of ups and downs. It's, you know, a big positive wave and then a negative wave, then a positive wave, then a negative wave. It's always been like that. It's never been...
But the question is, why has it been like that? You don't know how to treat people. First off and foremost, the whole reason why Phil is even where he is because his life meant nothing before YouTube. Sorry, his words, not mine. If someone tells you that I had no meaning in my life, I didn't feel like I was worth a damn, I didn't feel like people listened to me, I didn't feel like people cared about me, and I felt like I had no self-worth before YouTube, then one could assume, one could come to the conclusion I did, that, well, you know, he's basically saying that he meant nothing before YouTube. His words, not mine. Secondly, because he came in a rather pathetic and pitiful state, he didn't know how to handle what came to him, which means the money, first off, that's why he misappropriated all of it. But also, I wouldn't say sense of responsibility, but if one was to call it influence, he didn't know if one wanted to go that far. He didn't know how to handle it. And so because of that, he basically went online and showed people what he really was. An asshole. A piece of shit. A worthless piece of shit, now that I think about it. A useless piece of shit. And it all came back on him. Every step he made on YouTube fucked him over. And one of the most egregious parts of it, as most people will tell you when it comes to criminals, follow the money. Look at how he spent his money over the years. Look at how he thought his money was going to be for him in the years to come. This idiot assumed that he was going to do minimum effort, minimum time involved, and maximum profit. He thought that's how it was going to be from, his early years, was that late 2010, early 2011, all the way up till now. He thought he was going to make ridiculous amounts of money to do nothing. And when that shit kept diminishing and diminishing and diminishing, he got pissed off about it. And then he had to look for people to blame. But he never curbed his spending. First off, he never saved any of the money when the money was good. And then he wouldn't even curb his own spending. He found more ways to go ahead and spend money he didn't have. He went out here and convinced all these banks to give him all these business loans, a business loan for a YouTube channel, which is absolutely pathetic and ridiculous. He had to go to the bank for that. He had to ask these people to give him money to prop up his YouTube channel. He had to go to 3 banks to finally get the money to buy his house in Washington State. 3 banks he had to go to. And why would that happen? Why would that happen, ladies and gentlemen? Why would you have to go to 3 separate banks to get a mortgage? To get a loan so you can buy a house, I should say. Because the first 2 banks looked at what you had and were like, nah, that's inconsistent. That's not stable. We don't think we're going to go ahead and do that. On top of the fact that he may have had a little bit of debt at that time that he never disclosed. So you having a strong income is one thing, but if you have other things that kind of make you seem like a risk or a liability, then no one has to gamble on you. And apparently those people did. And now look at them. Just something to think about. DSP News.
Consistent for me. It's never been like, oh, we're at a high or we're staying at a low. It always kind of goes up and down, which is a good thing because thank God if it stayed at a low, that would be awful. It's never been like that. This year is going to be an incredibly challenging year for me because of the challenges I'm facing and what I'm up against. I guess we're going to see how it goes, but I know that you guys are going to be along the ride with me, So I certainly hope that, you'll continue to enjoy the streams. We'll continue to be an awesome community of fun gamers. Yeah, I'm a gamer! And that's what it's all about. Thank you again for the support and for understanding and for being there for me when I need your support. And also just for being cool during the chill streams, because, I'll be honest, like I told you guys yesterday, particularly a lot of the times, the stresses that I get from real life shit, I come to the streams to hang out with you guys, and I just feel a lot better. You know what I mean? And I appreciate that. I appreciate being able to have fun with you guys on a daily basis and having this as kind of a release from the crap going on behind the scenes. So thank you for that. And I hope that you feel the same way about the streams that I put out there, that this is a place where you can kind of unwind and just chill and have a good time and not have to worry about all the nonsense of the bullshit in your life, right? That's kind of the point.
Give me your money.
But they're supposed to come here and deal with your bullshit? And deal with all the crap and nonsense in your life? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. That's like people coming to me, right, to watch the Snort Report, and then you hear me bitch and complain about you all day, about my job, and about the shit in my life. When in actuality, you're here to hear me bitch about Phil and his bullshit. It don't make a whole lot of sense. Just saying. If you're supposed to go somewhere to be entertained, right? Then that's what should be provided. I'm not an escape, I'll use myself as the example, because I'm good at doing that, right? I'm not an escape for you, per se. I'm just this show, if you will, is just an aspect in your life. It's just something that kind of fits into your day. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, once the broadcast is over, you still have to go back to life and you still have to face that. It is what it is. The only thing I can provide you is a couple of laughs, some really bad jokes, some generally bad examples, and shitting on this idiot and hoping that you don't make the mistakes he does. That's all I can really offer you. That's it. That's not an escape, though. So the concept of him saying that this should be an escape for you and all your real life problems sounds like some shit that you would tell kids or you would tell teenagers. Maybe I'm reaching, but that's what it seems like to me.
An anonymous $5 tipper says, feels like a cockroach. Most people that get subjected to this much harassment would have been long gone from the internet years ago, yet no matter what happens, he survives, so keep it up, man. Well, I don't know if I like being called a cockroach, but if it really means that I'm the ultimate survivor, then fuck it. Seriously. Cockroach!
The ultimate survivor. You do know cockroaches eventually get stepped on, yeah? You do know cockroaches can cannibalize themselves if they have to. Yeah, they definitely have survival type adaptations or advantages to some degree. But every cockroach eventually gets squashed. Sooner than later. You're not the ultimate survivor. I wouldn't go that far. I really wouldn't. I don't even want to bring up that example because that's really fucked up. Fuck it. If Catherine, for example, as she goes to work and comes home, end up getting caught up in that one, what's that, the coronavirus or whatever that is? The shit that's going on in China right now that's already made it to the US, it's in Britain, it's in Australia too. Oh shit, it's in Australia. Holy shit, ghostly ones, I hope you're right. Big ups to ghostly ones. It's kind of spreading a little bit all over. If she caught that, the chances of either one of you surviving that is not going to be very good. Now, granted, Phil, before you go ahead and get into your panties about this shit, I'm not wishing death on either one of you. I'm just saying. So, let's not go ahead and talk about Ultimate Survivor given the shit that's going on in our current day and age. Anybody can essentially catch it. And when I mean catch it, I don't mean the virus. I mean death itself. We're all kind of expendable at this point. Running around calling yourself the Ultimate Survivor isn't exactly the way of doing it. If you think this online shit is the end-all be-all of your life, you got real problems. You shouldn't be worried about what the fuck I'm doing. You should be more worried about what's coming up next for you. Well, you really shouldn't be worried about what any detractor's doing, really, but you know what I mean. You shouldn't be worried about what Tevin's doing.
Cockroach. La cucaracha, la cucaracha.
So much for your Ultimate Survivor that's on its back squirming. We all know what happens after that. Defiant sniff.
I mean it. Fuck it. I don't care if you think there's a negative association with it, but hey, I'm not going anywhere, man. As long as I can do this and I can have fun doing it, I'm going to keep doing it. It's like I told you guys. I'm going to go out on my own terms. If I eventually have to phase this out, excuse me, and split my time between a job offline or whatever, and whatever happens, that's my choice. It's not going to be anyone else fucking with me, trying to just slander me or defame me that's going to make me go away. It's going to be me and me, my own control, my own volition. I don't give a fuck about any of these.
That goes back to giving him enough rope and he'll hang himself, but that also goes back to that thing I told you guys a long time ago about, I think Phil would rather hang himself than lose that house. I'll say when it's time for them to come and get that house, don't be surprised if they find Phil in one of the closets, and not in the way that you're thinking. So that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Because if Phil does lose his house, what does he have to go to? He loses his house. He doesn't have his condo anymore. The only place he can go to is back home, and it's going to be real awkward going back home at 37, making so much money for so long, to now having to start over from the ground up in the one state that he wishes he was never in, where everybody else has moved on, got married, lived within their means, gone through the struggles, have had their highs, had their lows, and are just maintaining, or more importantly, just happy with the way their lives are. Now Phil Burnell comes back in the picture with nothing. With absolutely nothing. Yikes. And can't come back to YouTube. If he loses Twitch, he's fucked. Everybody knows that. If Phil, for whatever reason, loses Twitch, he is screwed. Because where do you go from there? You come back to YouTube? You come back to the Coliseum? You come back to Rome? No, you don't want that. So where to next? Mixer? You want to go over there to Mixer, Phil, and start over? Because it's not like there's any favoritism that can be given to him over there. Even if there was someone who knew him at Mixer, what can they really do for him? He wouldn't have the level of seniority that he had over at Twitch because he had been there a long ass time. As if that should mean anything to anybody. So him going to Mixer would be hilarious. One, because he used to shit on the site. Two, because he would literally have to start over. He would literally have to build an audience and try to keep them. And that would be absolutely hilarious. And then on top of that, Tevin's over there. And he can't get Tevin removed. Tevin was there first. Tevin ain't going nowhere. So then what? I mean, I guess there is always Facebook gaming. I guess that's always a thing, right?
These dumb fucking kids who think that they can make a living off of my behalf. I'm the one who's working my ass off, and I'm the one who's still gonna be here long after they're fucking gone. And that's my attitude: is fuck them. I'm still here. I'm gonna persevere. Fuck all that nonsense. I am very much a man of the people. I'm like the man's man. I am the strongest. My dick is annoying. Being a dude with balls and a dick can be annoying. I don't want this. What is this bullshit? But I'm a man enough to admit it.
Well, Madman tipped me $1 and asked how old was I when my balls dropped. Relatively early. I was in high school. My hormones went crazy. I started growing, no lie, a full mustache and a beard in high school. When most kids had like no facial hair and nothing, I was like, my balls dropped early. And my hormones started going crazy, at a relatively earlier age. I'd probably say, probably like when I was like 15, something like that. Because I remember when I started working how old was I? I was like 15 when I started working at that job in the mall, and I already had a mustache. Why is my frog sick? Tip me $1, so I'm getting the groove back, getting the vibe back. Here we go again. This is kind of a meme, apparently something I said on a rant.
Well, I'm not for sure, so someone might have to chime in on this, but is that when he had the job at the salad bar? Tossing other men's salads? Was that his first job? I can't remember now. It was that though, wasn't it? He used to toss salads for a living? Huh. Okay.
Stream. Fair enough. Jasper's baby tipped me another $5. Says, that's what we're saying though. Do it all on stream now. Get it delivered. No time taken away from streaming. You can try other things like hot peppers, new beers, new fad technology products. Interesting shit doesn't
He honestly should do DSP tries it on stream though. That wouldn't be a bad idea. I mean, theoretically, he did that with his birthday cake a couple years ago. That birthday cake that Kat made that was so delicious, but every time he bit into it, the only thing that his face kind of reminded me of is someone that was dumb enough to try to eat sandpaper. That's kind of what it reminded me of. Just saying. I mean, it's not like he hasn't eaten on stream before. The cake situation being the perfect example. I don't know. He's really weird about all that dumb shit now. And then it's not profitable for him, really.
To be fast food. What on earth makes you think that I want to sit here eating hot peppers and drinking beer while I'm supposed to be putting on a gameplay stream? This is the point I'm
Wait, didn't he drink beer on stream for the Christmas marathon? So what's he talking about? I mean, it was shitty beer, but beer nonetheless. Oh boy.
I'm a gamer. My passion is gaming. I have chill fun when I game. I don't want to sit here eating fucking hot peppers and pulling stunts for you.
But isn't the retrospective stream theoretically a stunt? Isn't the Halloween video game horror marathon a stunt? Wasn't the Christmas marathon where he was going to be drinking a stunt? Just throwing that all out there. Isn't the hype train theoretically a stunt?
My real name is Bozo, and I have a big honking red nose and big floppy clown shoes. You guys have been asking me for 2 years what kind of car I drive. It's a clown car. It's a clown car, and I only drive around with about 14 other clowns inside. So when the door opens, we all come spilling out comedically. I have a flower on my chest that I squirt water from, and I'm an expert at making balloon animals.
I want to play fun games. I don't know why this is so hard to understand. That this is, you know what I mean? Listen, there's tons of other streamers out there who they literally pull stunts constantly to try to retain attention on their audiences, right? When you can't retain attention with yourself and the game you're playing, you pull stunts. I'm going to do this special thing, eat a fucking ghost pepper today on stream. I'm going to order a giant pizza and fucking eat the whole thing on stream. I'm going to do this. What the fuck am I doing that for? We're here for games, we're here for fun, and just to be chill. I don't need to pull stunts. These are attention scams, basically, to try to get people to watch stupid shit. And people.
So stunts are scams, but then he goes into these long monologues about food that he ate 10 plus years ago. Is that not a stunt to some degree? Yeah, the food isn't in front of him, but the way he describes it and the way the enthusiasm he has over it, the enthusiasm that he has about it is almost orgasmic. Is that not a stunt?
For all the fucking time. That's not what I'm about. I'm not gonna make my stream into some kind of a fucking daily circus. Alright? It's supposed to be chill gaming. Okay? So, that's why I'm not doing that crap.
Did you ever shove a Sharpie up your ass and absorb the fumes straight into your anus and get high? Yes. Yes. I did it. I used to do it. Buy a whole pack of Sharpie markers and shove them right up my rectum. One up each nostril, one in each ear, right up the rectum, high as a kite. You got me. Toxic ass fucking content.
Alexander Rossi did a 50-bit cheers. Yesterday, you said the trolls pretended to be you and tried to get your utilities shut off. Did that really happen? Is that highly illegal? It's crazy. Absolutely it happened. One day, I was streaming, and I got an email during the stream. Thank you for your request, your service request. Your energy will be shut off as of Monday. I think it was like Friday. Your energy will be shut off as of Monday per your request. Huh? So I log into my utilities account and I find an online service request to turn off my power as soon as possible. But they said the earliest they could do it was Monday. So I called the company and I said, what the hell's going on? And they said, yeah, it looks like someone got access to your account, your utilities account, and made this online request because they somehow got your password and you would have had your power shut off if you hadn't contacted us.
Wait. Okay, so I'm just saying, if you were to hack into somebody's account, right, and shut their utilities off, why wouldn't you have changed the password so they wouldn't be able to do anything about it, at least online? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why would you do that? Also, when he logged in, why wouldn't it would have told him as utilities if you logged into your credit card and stuff like that. They usually tell you when the last time you logged in. Why didn't he say anything about that? Why didn't he mention that? Right? I don't know. I always found that those two things to be kind of strange. Like, they hacked into your account, but they didn't change your password so they could let you back in. And then you could obviously see when the last time someone, air quotes, logged into that account. So why didn't you use that as a point of evidence, or at least as a discrepancy when you talk to them, when you talk to the company, when you called them over the phone? Why wasn't that a thing? I don't know.
Now, if I hadn't set up for email alerts, I would have never known that, and I would have had no power. And who knows if they would have been able to turn it right back on or what? Who knows, right? And that's just one example. There was another time, I'll give you another example, where I had this really ancient account set up when I first moved here, okay? I had to make some payments to the city. I can't even remember why, but for some reason I had to pay the city that I live in some money via their website. So I set up this really old account. Well, someone eventually finally found out about the account. Don't ask me how. They got access to it. And apparently the account was still tied to my bank account. These fuckers sent a $2,000 payment to the city for no reason. I didn't owe the city any money. They just said, oh,
I don't remember that either. But first off, this guy didn't pay state and business occupation tax for like almost 4 years. For like 3+ years. But for whatever reason, he owed the city some money? Traffic tickets? Like, huh? Like, what exactly did you do that would actually cause you to owe the city money? Outside of your utilities. Unless he had, like I said, unless he had traffic tickets or something. Because I don't see Phil donating to the city. Interesting.
This would be funny to empty out Phil's bank account and fuck him over. So they actually took $2,000 out of my bank account, and it took a while for me to get it cleared up with my bank and the city to get the money back. So it completely fucked me over financially for weeks. And you guys, some people are laughing in the stream chat. You think it's funny. That's not funny.
How is this funny? Like, what is funny about that?
It's fucked up. It's basically like, oh, look how we can completely destroy Phil, and ruin his life. And now he can't pay his bills because we took all his money.
$2,000 was going to destroy you in your life? Your life must not be worth much.
right? So, pretty fucked up. And this is the kind of shit that I have to put up with. You know, it's just a couple examples. So. Alright, Jasper's baby once again tipped me $5. Good lord, this guy really wants DSP tries it. He says, get ready. Well, that's not what we're talking about. We don't want DSP tries it all the time, and occasional stream for sub goals. You game 24/7, 365. So what you're saying is exactly the opposite. We haven't done DSP tries it in like, what, a couple of years? Bring it back. Oh my god, this guy is just like so adamant on DSP tries it. I don't understand it. Like, I liked the series too, but like, I wasn't so crazy in love infatuated with it that I'm going crazy here demanding it on the stream. Good lord. I'll take it under consideration. Maybe it will come back as a special thing at some point, but for now, I'm not thinking about it, okay? Boss Hog to it again, he says, yes, are you considering a part-time job? Or you consider unbanning those who suggested you get one over the last 2 years? No.
Snort! You mean this? There you go, thank you. Feel us. It does.
So much for that post-nasal drip if you can snort on command like that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're going into the last video of our broadcast, and that means our last tasty video of the broadcast. Should be yummy. And I'll see you guys in a couple of minutes.
Any children who send him money, blatantly milking for money. It's a money pit. It's gone. Just gone like that. In an instant. Fucking gone. I just care about money. I just can't help it. I eBay. Contributions are mandatory, but I need your help. I am appealing directly to you.
Oh, yes!
This is how to play the game!
Holy shit! That is an epic fucking intro, dude.
And I have to warn everyone, warning, what you may see right now is going to be absolutely disgusting.
Sound good?
Alright, sounds good to me.
Yet again, it's a thankless job, but I'm glad Catherine appreciates it. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here with the third and last video that will make up our broadcast. Brought to you guys by Burnell. DSP, monthly goal achieved. My business degree is useless. My business degree is useless. And advice to avoid debts. This is from January 20th of 2020, our current year of gout. Here we go. Oh, I can't wait to hear that that advice about debt. That should be good. That should be real good.
Now, a few people have asked me why was I late today. It's very simple. With the stuff that's going on with me behind the scenes, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, check out my podcast from a couple days ago. The podcast fully explained everything that I've been going through recently in detail, and I don't want to go into detail about it here on a pre-stream. Alright, that podcast is available over on my vlogging channel, The King of Hate Vlogs, so please go give it a look. Alright, but I had a phone call I had to make as a part of the whole situation of, you know, what I'm going through. You have to do a lot of requirements, a lot of legal requirements. One of the requirements was that I had to do this online course, and at the end of the course, you have to talk to someone, essentially, about your situation and what's going on and everything, in order to make sure that you're doing the right thing, alright? So, I did this whole course last night after my stream. I filled out all the information, I read all this information and everything. I was right at the end of it, and they say, oh, you have to live chat with someone now to complete the course. I was like, live chat with someone? What does that mean? Why, they didn't say anything about this before. And it pops up and says no one's available.
What does live chat mean? Alright. Alright.
Night. I'm like, well, that's great, because all my free time's at night. You guys know I'm here all day streaming. I don't have any free time during the day.
Except for the 2 or 3 hours between the first stream and the second stream. But semantics, I'm sure.
I said, the only way I'm going to be able to do this then is going to be doing it in the morning before I stream. So I actually woke up extra early this morning, and I got everything going, and I said, well, let me try the online chat again to see if I could do this. And I sat there for about 25 minutes, and no one showed up. I was like, oh, that's not good. So, and then I ended up calling. I said, well, there's a phone number, let me call. So I called, waited on hold about another 25 minutes, and then finally they put me on the phone with somebody.
I mean, in Phil's defense, though, in that 50 minutes that he was waiting the live chat with someone, he was probably playing WWE champions. So it's a vicious cycle, ladies and gentlemen. It's a vicious cycle. DSP News.
Final part of the course or whatever. Essentially just to review everything that I had already put in on the website, make sure I wasn't lying, make sure I was a real human, and all of that, and that was it. So it sucks. This should have been something that I could have had done in 5 minutes, but because of the giant wait that this company made me do, it ended up taking well over an hour, which is why I ended up being slightly late to the stream today. I thought this was going to be done an hour ago, but I was sitting on hold for quite a long time, okay? So it is what it is. I'm here now, and I'm at least, let me put it this way, because a lot of people have asked, what happens when you're doing stuff like filing for bankruptcy, and how does it affect things, and blah, blah, blah. Truth of the matter is, I don't know. I don't know how much this will affect my stuff. Like, I know I'm going to have a lot of work. I already put together a ton of stuff, ton of information, a ton of important stuff, and I've done a lot of work behind the scenes you guys don't even know about, okay? But I'm absolutely sure...
Putting together documents and sending it is not work. I'm sorry, that's not work. For Phil it is, because he's not used to doing anything, but that's not work.
As this process continues, there's going to be lots and lots more stuff that I need to do. And whether or not it's going to take away from the streams, I have no idea. So far, it hasn't really, which is great. But I get the feeling there probably will be obligations and things that I have.
I mean, despite the fact that you were allegedly late today, or slightly late, just saying.
To do that are going to take significant amounts of time. In fact, as I was doing this course, as I finished it, it says, okay, so you completed part 1 of the course, but once you continue on with your bankruptcy procedure, you have to do more. There's another 2 hours of coursework you'll have to do later. I'm like, oh, that's great. You know, like, I don't know about all this stuff, because the thing is, I think what they're assuming is you haven't worked with anyone or done anything to really explain anything. I've been working with a bankruptcy attorney for many months, and I know everything going on. You know what I mean? Like, I'm well aware of everything happening.
He just told us that he didn't know what the process is, and what it details. Now he's saying that he knows everything. And he understands what's going on. See, that's what I'm saying when it comes to... That's what plenty of people say when it comes to the contradictions of DarkSydePhailure. You can't say, I know nothing and plead ignorance, and then try to throw yourself into this air of superiority and say that you know everything. Either you know something or you don't. If you've been working with someone for a number of months about this, then yes, it would be, under reasonable circumstances, you would understand the process, and basically you would have a grasp of your situation. But you just told them that you didn't. Oh boy.
So, I don't know why I need to keep doing this, but I guess it's a legal requirement. You know, it is what it is. So, it sucks that I have to keep doing all this crap, but it is what it is. I'm not going to complain about it. If this helps out my life situation, then fine.
And this is the reason why you guys shouldn't feel... I mean, it's up to you. At the end of the day, it's your own choice. Excuse me. But you shouldn't feel bad for him. And if he loses his house, if he loses all that bullshit, don't feel bad for him. He did it to himself. He did it to himself. If he at once had a conscious thought of, you know what, maybe, just maybe, I should consider having some real fail-safe plans, we wouldn't be talking about bankruptcy. We wouldn't be talking about foreclosure. If any of that stuff was a thing, if any of that was reality, If reality was able to pierce through the clouds of DarkSydePhail's own shit smell, stench, if you will, this wouldn't be an issue. He wouldn't be there. There are a lot of people who made a lot of money online and fucked up. And Phil's one of them. And he did it in the laziest way possible. He deserves to lose it. It started off lazy. He was basically rewarded for being lazy. And when it came time to actually do something about all this 2 years ago, or 3 years ago even, he was too lazy to do anything about it. That's why he's where he's at now. That business and occupation tax situation or scenario that happened in 2017 should have been a fucking wake-up call. And it wasn't for him. He treated that shit as a day-by-day thing and squandered all that money on whatever. And now look at him. Now he's in the process of losing everything. Everything? Everything. And one does not have to feel bad for that. If you choose to, then by all means. But you're not obligated to.
A con artist. Phil's a scam artist.
Ladies and gentlemen, last night we hit the sub goal. Every time that I play Street Fighter now, people come out, they support in various different ways. You know, one week we had an insane amount of tips. Last night, people came out and they did a hype train, and the hype train, no lie, jumped us up by so many subscriptions. We hit the subscriber
That stunt, he means? That's what the hype trains are. They're stunts. Just saying.
goal for the month, which is outstanding. That means that we're going to be doing the special retrospective marathon event.
So basically, we're going to react to shitty videos. Okay. I guess because they're his shitty videos, it's alright.
Being very matter of fact with all of you, the best way that you could contribute and it would help me out the most right now would be by tipping me. When you tip me, I get those funds right away. That means I could put those funds towards a bill, towards buying a new game, towards a tax payment, towards an attorney payment, towards whatever. Since now I'm in the situation I'm in, I've got a lot of stuff going on constantly behind the scenes, and it costs a lot of money. All right. So your tip.
Don't you still have to pay the guy who prepares your taxes every quarter? You still got to pay him too. You got to throw that in there also. It's funny how we just keep bouncing from our tax preparer to our tax agent to our tax attorney to now this foreclosure attorney thing. It's amazing how we keep jumping around like that. Whatevs.
Are helping me out with all of that. And if you want to see me continue to be successful and keep doing this for a living, you gotta support in other ways. You know, whether it's watching the streams and cheering, subbing, and tipping while I'm here on Twitch, or pledging to my Patreon, or buying something for my Teespring, you know, no matter what it might be, I'm gonna need that support right now more than ever.
Hot Bot did a 100-bit cheer asking about, yeah, this is hilarious. Actually, the fun thing is, this is someone actually trying to troll me, but I actually agree with this statement. Okay, you ready for this one? I actually agree with this, so I'm actually going to read it, and I'm going to put this guy as the top cheerer because I actually agree. So he says,
I have to warn you, this is nasty as shit, okay? Like, real nasty shit. All right, you ready? Sorry, I'm trying to be responsible here. I really feel this actually could hurt children.
Gee, after you complete this bankruptcy class course, will they give you another certificate that you need to print out? You can hang it up on the wall next to your business degree so you have 2 useless pieces of paper on the wall. I actually agree with you.
Actually, they could hang it next to his ACE certification too. So we have 3 useless pieces of paper hanging up on the wall.
Business degree is completely fucking useless.
Because no one hires based off of a basic business degree. You have to be fucking rich to be able to go to graduate school and get some kind of an advanced degree, like a master's degree, in order to be considered for any kind of a significant job. Or you have insane amounts of experience, which I didn't have because I couldn't get any unpaid internships in college because I had to work to pay for college.
Even though I'm pretty sure he's told us that his parents actually paid for college though. I know he supposedly said that he used his early YouTube money to pay for all of his debts, including college, but in actuality, that was probably just for credit cards. I'm pretty sure mommy and daddy actually paid for college. But semantics. The next thing, though, that kind of makes it funny, and what really makes that business degree useless, despite the fact that he kept throwing it up in people's face throughout the years, is for his business, his online business, YouTube. That's really the actual measuring stick. It's the full demonstration of how useless his business degree is. He couldn't even run an online business, which was pretty much tailor-made for his laziness. And it was like that for a number of years. And when it was time to change, when the industry changed, and it was time to shape up so you can make even more money, or at least preserve what you have, he didn't do it. So maybe, in actuality, ladies and gentlemen, maybe the business degree isn't the problem. Maybe it's just the idiot who paid for it. Maybe that's what the real issue is. Maybe that's what's really useless in this equation. I don't know. Just a thought. DSP News?
So it's funny how all of that works. Because even though you're trying to troll me, I agree with you. I hate the education system in the United States. The education system fucked me over, ended up putting me in big debt, and I got nothing out of having my degree at all. It was a complete waste of 4 years of my fucking life. Flipper tipped me $1 and says, you consider yourself a toxic person? If not, why are you busted on camera saying, why am I toxic? And yep, I'm toxic. Do you not have video evidence?
A 100% negative and toxic person.
Well, first of all, I would say I'm toxic when I get so overcome with rage or emotion at something that I'll say stupid shit. All right? And it happens. There's sometimes that I'll be...
It happens. So it means, basically you're saying that you're a petulant child. That's basically what you're saying. You're basically saying that you're an immature piece of shit who can't keep his own faculties about himself. That when things don't go his way, even in the smallest way possible, you have to bitch and complain about it. And then you have to get yourself drunk. And then you have to send out cryptic crybaby tweets and probably send drunken texts to your former buddies, compadres. And then you come up on the stream the next day in fake depression. That sounds about right. Pathetic as it is, it sounds about right.
Playing something online, and I'll become so overwhelmed with anger that now I just say and do things that are absolutely over the top stupid, okay? The good news is it doesn't happen anywhere near as frequently as it used to. In fact, that used to be one of the shticks that I did when I used to do YouTube videos, is I hammed it up and went over the top all the time. That was one of the reasons why people watch me. Oh, Phil's gonna lose in rage today at a game and blah, 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 blah. You know, now I try not to do it that much anymore. I try to give games a fair shake. But if I'm going to criticize a game fairly, a lot of people then try to emphasize it and say that I'm being toxic about the game. There's a difference between fair criticism and being toxic. You know, and so people can't discern that. They think any negativity is toxicity. That's not true. But what you're referencing, Flipper, the why am I toxic meme came from me playing Dark Souls, and I actually got...
Toxic?
I actually got... how can I put it? Poisoned by a guy who was off in the background by one of those stupid blow darts, but it wasn't standard poison, it was toxicity, which is like strong poison. And I said, what? Why am I toxic? Like, I yelled it out, because I was so surprised that I got toxic status effect in the game. I had no idea what had hit me. And people turned that into a meme that over the years became, you know, a meme that detractors use, but now it's a meme that we use on the stream, and I've adopted, I even got an emote for it, okay? So there you go, Flipper, that's where it comes from. Certainly not in the regards that you're saying, but at the same time, I'm not an idiot, I'm not ignorant, I'm not going to say there's no times that I'm ever toxic. I think every human is, right?
No. Sorry. I mean, yeah, people are negative as shit, and mainly people who are negative and stay negative are because they are negative. But you started off on YouTube negative. You know what I'm saying? Like, what was it? It was like Star Wars, whatever he was playing, the very first game that he put out. He was bitching and complaining about it. That's being negative. That right there gave birth to everything that came later. It's no surprise. The shitty gameplay that was going on in that, you know what I mean? Like his complete and lack and total coherency of what was going on. It was all trademarks of what we ended up seeing later. That's the reason why he's a toxic, negative piece of shit. He started off that way. It's only fair that it ends that way. It's only fair that he loses everything over that. Because if you think about it, that's the whole reason why he has detractors anyway. That's the reason why there's a fucking movement. Well, it's not even a movement. It's just a fucking one big ass motherfucking military and shit. that exists. That it exists. It's all because of him and his own negativity. It's him believing that people were beneath him and treating them like shit. It was having him lambasting people, him sending people after other people who he didn't like or they disagreed with. It was him shitting on other content creators who were more successful than him. It was people who were just coming into the YouTube gaming sphere and making incredible amounts of money because they were pushing the boundaries on it, and he didn't want to do it. And the only thing he could hold on to, his only claim to fame, if you will, and this is going to be extremely pathetic, and I'm going to be extremely petty, so strap in, is the fact that when everybody's content got better and better and better, and they got all the views, he bitched and complained about, oh, well, they put all this money into production and this, that, and the third, and that's not being a real gamer. A real gamer is sitting on the couch with your surround sound, fuck a headset, you know what I mean? Fuck earphones, fuck a monitor, fuck all that shit. It's sitting in your living room, surround sound, and you guys sharing my experience through a fucking camcorder. He said this. And he said that for years as the justification on why he didn't want to go to direct capture. He only went to direct capture when he lost half the viewership. Well, it probably wasn't half. It was probably like, someone said it was like, I remember someone told me it was like 30% or some shit, which is a lot, especially back then. That's what happened. That's what the issue was. That's what his justification is. Same thing with streaming. He's behind the curve when it comes to streaming. When you look at streams like Phil's, that's day one shit. And even then, most people day one actually did some research and know how to have a more transparent type background, a transparent chat, and this, that, and the third. Chat placement is just better. His shit is ancient. It's prehistoric. And that's how he chose to run it, because it was convenient for him. And if you're not willing to push the envelope, then you deserve what you get, which is usually nothing, except for ridicule and being laughed at. End of story. And the more Phil tried to fight it, the more people laughed at him. Now he can't do anything. He has no choice but to sit there and take it. He like I said earlier, he doesn't mind deplatforming people, but he's still losing. He didn't help himself. He made it worse. If Tevin didn't get... This is just my own personal opinion. I can't speak for Tevin. But if Tevin didn't get deplatformed off of Twitch, who knows how the DSP timeline would have been. He may only stream him every once in a while and then just make videos. And that's it. And then spend his time on Twitch, which was growing at that time. He put a lot of time and effort into it. A lot of what you see on Mixer and YouTube, respectfully, are the residuals of what he was trying to do on Twitch. Phil is like his own self-fulfilling prophecy. That's what makes Phil a negative piece of garbage. It's what makes him the King John of fucking YouTube. The fucking toilet bowl, if you will. That's all he is. He's a crapper. He's a failure. He's a quitter. He deserves everything he got. And what makes it even worse for him anyway is he has to live with it. And that right there, I think, hurts him more than anything. That he has to live with this. Just saying.
I think every single human has times when sadly they get overcome with rage or emotion or whatever it may be, and the next thing you know, they're saying ridiculously over-the-top things that obviously are not representative of what you really feel when you have a rational mind. But that's what emotion does. It takes away the rationality of your thinking and instead just makes you act out on emotion, okay? Maybe that's a good thing if you're like fight or flight mode in real life, you know, and you need to just have action immediately without sitting there debating something for 45 minutes in your head before you take action. But in general, on a stream, it's probably not a good idea. So there you go. There's your honest answer.
Why am I toxic? More toxic, more toxic.
PW Dubs tipped me $1. He said, good morning. As a person with a lot of credit card debt, what are some ways that could help me in preventing having terrible debt like yours? Quite frankly, I'm going to say this. If you can avoid using credit cards, do. All right, it's a very honest opinion of mine now that I've...
Yeah, he's kind of too far gone, being that he already has a shitload of credit card debt. Just saying. But let's let him continue.
I've been in such a horrendous situation. Because even when you plan properly, things can go wrong. And that's exactly what happened.
But you didn't plan properly, hence the reason why you're in where you're at. So that's a bit counterintuitive, too.
My case. When originally I racked up all my unsecured debt, okay, what happened was, I was making a certain amount of income, that if I had continued to make that amount of income, I would have had no problem paying off that debt. In fact, I had an actual plan, an outline written out. Okay, pay this much this month, this much this month. And then, with a couple of the credit cards, I had actually had promotional rates, where what you can do is you charge something on it for like a certain amount of time at 0% interest, okay? Then what you can do a balance transfer from that card to another card, again at 0% interest. So, essentially what I had was, I had enough credit at the time to afford everything that I needed to move across the country and furnish the house and all the things I needed to do. But at the same time, I had a plan laid out that I could pay all these things off within a certain period of time.
That's not a plan. That's not a plan at all. What the fuck Oh. Alright, let's get it. Let's get it. Alright, so oh god, that your whole narrative's fucked up. Let me explain. One, you thought you were going to make the same amount of money that you were already making, despite the fact that before Phil Burnell moved from Connecticut to Washington, Machinima called him into a meeting, and they were basically going to drop his pay again. He begged them not to because he was going to move, and that he swore that he could turn everything around if they'd give him one more year, which is what they did, which means that his income was already dropping. That's the first thing. And he had already taken a pay cut previous to that. That's the first thing. Second thing, let's talk about these credit cards. This idiot right here had an introductory rate, basically 0%, for let's be generous and say 18 months. This idiot proceeds to run the balance up on all these cards and then transfer them to fresh cards to cover the cards that he ran up while still proceeding to use them, in the hopes of using his dwindling income to fucking cover. Let's break that down. Let's remix that. This idiot's income was dropping. It was already failing him, if you will. This idiot decides to go ahead and open up a bunch of credit cards with a zero APR and then runs the balance up on all of them. Then he opens up a few more credit cards that allows him to get 0 APR on any balance transfers, takes all of the existing debt that he had and moves it to these cards, right? Now, we have, let's say we have 3 cards that are already ran up, and we got 3 new cards that allow him a balance transfer. He takes those first 3, moves the balances over to the next 3, and now we have 3 cards that are fresh and clean now, so fresh and so clean, and then we got 3 of them that's all deaded up. This idiot then proceeds to keep spending lavishly despite the fact that his income is going to drop in the following year. And then when it does drop, whose fault is that? So now we have, and this is all hypothetical with the credit card numbers. I don't know how many credit cards you have. Someone said like 10 of them at one time. But this idiot has now, just by our scenario, 6 credit cards that are probably all at their fucking limits. He's only paying the bare minimum on them, right? So that means he's only paying his little $25 or $40 a month while still spending on those cards and literally running down the APR, or running the APR down. And then once they all matured, he got fucked because he didn't have enough. His credit wasn't good enough to open up any more credit cards to go ahead and continue the cycle. Or maybe he did, and then he just repeated it all over again. How fucking ignorant is that? We had a dwindling income, we had poor credit card management, and then we had him exercise even more poor credit card management. But then how is that the detractors' fault? Because of the false copyright, the false copyright strikes on the fan art on a dwindling income anyway? Because you want to act like a little bitch on Twitch and they asked you to go ahead and turn your bitrate down, you didn't want to and you left, and then go ahead and open up Patreon, and then you open up a Patreon, promised Project 7, fuck them on the Project 7, and then they ended up getting at you over that. But your income was dwindling before that. You should have never moved. You should have never moved, at least certainly without selling that condo, or at least renting it out. He made a shitload of financial mistakes. And then I'm not even done yet. Let's go back a little further. Before him even making the move, this idiot right here was making all this money for these number of years and didn't save none of it. He spent it as quickly as he could. He spent it before anybody could come and get it from him. You see how he's a fucking failure? Everything he did on YouTube screwed himself. And this is why, ladies and gentlemen, and consider this a quote, because I did quote this, that YouTube was the worst thing that ever happened to DarkSydePhailure. It really fucking was. Because you got to be a goddamn, you got to be a moron to keep making the financial mistakes that he made, and then got the nerve to blame it on a bunch of air quote kids for fucking his business up. When in actuality, his personal finances were already a mess. And that business that supposedly those kids fucked up was already in a downward spiral. That's fucking insane. That is absolutely nuts to believe that all of that responsibility goes on a bunch of people online. Amazing. DSP News.
Happened? Well, things went south, right? All my content ended up getting destroyed by malicious actions of trolls and shit, and because of that, my income significantly decreased out of nowhere, completely unexpectedly. Public opinion against me for a while turned. I would say probably 2014, 2015 were some of the worst years, where people were just constantly attacking me and making fun of me and being really malicious to me. So it was kind of like a double whammy of not only, you know, am I not as popular anymore, but now people are attacking me and hurting my business as well.
I did nothing wrong. I did everything correct. Most of the things that happened to me, I didn't do anything wrong. What did I do wrong? Nothing. Zero.
So because of that, that whole plan got blown to hell, alright? So even though I had an actual intelligent outline of things to do, it didn't work out.
Yeah, that sounds real fucking intelligent, ladies and gentlemen. That sounds really intelligent. That was amazing. He was Bernie Madoff before Madoff. Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Not at all. It actually worked out the opposite. I put myself in so much debt that there was no real way out of it. So then I said, okay, maybe I could do that. Maybe I could take out a loan, and the loan will pay off these credit cards.
Oh yeah, and then this idiot took out 2 business loans, and then Panda took out a business loan, and he ran all that shit up too. Oh yeah, I almost forgot about that. Thank you, DSP. I appreciate you bringing that up. I almost let you slide on that. Almost. And since we're all feeling generous here, right? You know what I'm saying? Because you know, we're all having a good time. You know, the SnortBucks is flowing and all that, right? And mommy and daddy have been supplying him with additional money month after month after month throughout this whole situation too. Imagine that. He's an absolute financial whiz though, ain't he? Brilliant. Absolutely fucking brilliant.
And then I'll be okay. But then I had more of a decrease in income.
Etika himself in the past has talked about me and said, you know, I used to watch DarkSydePhailure videos, and he said he used me as an example of what not to do.
So now I need a way to afford the loan. You see what I mean? Like, so it just kept ballooning, all based on the fact that I had that significant loss of income.
But yet he kept spending, right? Just, you know what I'm saying? Like, he just kept spending. Like when he had that one video that was somewhat successful on KO Gaming, and then decided to take a 4-day, 3-night vacation, a staycation with Panda. What was that, Red Faction Revolution or something like that? Makes one think. But yet again, that's you know, good financial. That holiday though, that staycation was planned. Despite all the debt that's mounting, that was planned though. Keep that in mind.
1 year and it never came back. So all I can say is, even though you may think you're spending within your means with credit cards, you're never spending within your means. And I mean that. Like, credit cards are a trap. They're set up that way by the companies. Trust me, credit cards wouldn't be so prominent. You wouldn't be getting things in the mail saying, take out a credit card, if it weren't lucrative for the company trying to offer that to you. Okay?
It's only as lucrative as you allow it. Just like your paid piggies being taken advantage of. You let yourself be taken advantage of, then guess what the fuck is going to happen? If you use a credit card for the bare minimum, right, to only for emergencies, maybe just so you can put some gas in your car once or twice a month and then you pay the balance off, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. But that all comes back down to personal responsibility and accountability. The credit cards don't go ahead and give you money and be like, okay, go ahead and spend to your heart's content. Don't worry about paying it back. Go ahead and spend $5,000 and pay back $40 a month. You'll be okay, buddy, in 18 months. The credit card company don't tell you to do that. You choose to do that. And because of that, you deserve whatever the fuck happens to you afterwards. Pure and simple, ladies and gentlemen. The reason why people get into credit card debt usually falls under a couple of different categories. One, you're absolutely autistic, mindless fucks like this idiot right here. Two, you're an irresponsible, irredeemable piece of shit like this idiot right here, so he falls into two categories. Or three, you had a fucking emergency that just wiped you out. And shit happens. And that is a thing. That really is. That third one is a thing. And just because it hasn't happened to you yet, just because it hasn't happened to me yet, doesn't mean it can't happen. But that is a thing. But number 1 and 2 come from unrealistic motherfuckers who think they can ice skate uphill. And those are the same people who usually chase after what other people have. They want what other people want, and they'll spend as much money as they can to get it, only to obtain it and realize it's not worth a damn thing. So what happens? They chase the next thing. And that's what the credit card companies want. They want to prey upon people who are ignorant like that. But they don't make you do it. Anybody can apply for a credit card. Not everybody's dumb enough to run the limits up. And then balance transfer, and then balance transfer, and then balance transfer. If you guys heard my last broadcast, I talked a little bit about that. About your credit report and some of the notations that are on there. People who have a habit of doing that, sometimes they don't break it. Some do if you're lucky, but not everybody. And those notations are on there. So, when our boy DarkSydePhailure is done with his bankruptcy in, about a decade or so, and he's an old fucking man chasing after a bunch of young people on Twitch, thinking that he wants what they have, guess what? There's going to be notations that, he's pretty irresponsible, with his money. But go ahead and give him a high balance anyway. And give him an even higher interest rate. He'll roll with it. And guess what? He will roll with it. Phil is what's known as a debt whore. He's already proven that before he got to YouTube. He proved that now. He'll prove that in another decade or so. It's just what they do with people like him. It's just what he is.
I can say, no, don't never use a credit card. All right, that's ridiculous. But use it responsibly. Never get close to your credit limit. Never try to. I got this crazy elaborate 3-year plan of how to pay off this debt that I incurred by moving. That was now I know that's really stupid. But back then I didn't. That was 6 years ago. I thought that was smart and I could figure it out. No, it did not work at all. Okay, that's the best recommendation I can give you. Okay?
How did you think it was smart and you could figure it out when you got into debt chasing after a 4th place finish at fucking Evo, right? How did you think you were going to figure that out when you got into debt chasing a 4th place finish at Evo, only to get out of debt because you asked a bunch of kids to click ads on your videos, or you asked a bunch of people to watch all of your videos basically on autopilot? How is that a thing? And remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys remember some of Tevin's, praise be, his Back in Time videos, he has said that Phil has been asking people to interact with his videos, or has been asking people to make sure they watch his videos and shit like that ever since he started making money on YouTube. Which is pretty much since the beginning. It's a thing. You see how irresponsible he is? See how stupid he is? How are you going to sit there and have a 3-year plan to pay off credit card debts and other loans when you're still using the same fucking credit cards to fund your lavish lifestyle that you're too dumb or too ignorant to curb? That makes no sense. That makes no fucking sense whatsoever. But yet, this dinosaur thought it was a good idea. And with a failing income, by the way. With an income that is dropping year by year by year. And you thought you were going to make it work. Without, taking any of the recommendations that were given to you on upping your quality, upping your content, and maybe just acting like a decent fucking human being to make the content better. All he had to do was try. And he was too lazy and too stupid to do that. DSP News?
Got him. What? That's not what I did! That's not what I did! I did EX, which would have blown through it!
Fuck you. You're a liar.
Yeah, bullshit. I did EX uppercut, which would have blown through his super, and we would have both landed and was reset. He fucking gets his move, I don't get mine, so I lose. Complete bullshit. 100% bullshit. And the bad thing, he didn't time that. That was a Hail Mary. He's like, oh shit, he's gonna take me to death. Just do random super, hopefully it blows through. The game doesn't give me my move, and I lose because of it.
Wait a second, but you just said that you would have thrown the EX, and if your EX had came out when his super came out, you guys would have traded, and then you guys would have just reset. Now you're saying that if the scenario was the way it was supposed to be, you would have just ticked him to death. So which one was it? And I don't think an EX would have beaten the super anyway. Now I think about it. Nah, I don't think the EX would have beaten the super anyway, though. I don't think. I'm gonna think about that.
That's right. I don't want to fucking play this guy anymore. I don't.
Oh shit, did you just rage quit the lobby? Oh shit. Oh wow. He really quit over that one well, who are we talking about? We're talking about DarkSydePhailure. Natural born failure.
Play laggy ass fucking garbage third striking in a fucking laggy ass environment. It's not fun. It's really annoying and not fun at all.
With this salt flavor. Ugh.
Oh. Alright, let's try playing a couple more people. We only got about 10-15 minutes left. New World Order, you're a complete fucking idiot. He says excuses. Listen, I know the move properties. EX Dragon Punch blows through the super. We would have basically went whoop through each other like this, landed, and no one would have gotten hit, and then it would have basically been anyone's game at the very end. Instead, oh, magically my move doesn't come out. You're an idiot.
All you can taste is salt.
And now it's too late to fucking... Oh my god, I hate this collection. I'm done with this. I'm seriously done. I hate this fucking thing sometime. I'm not gonna sit here for another fucking match and not watch because the collection was designed by a bunch of fucking nitwits who don't understand that everyone wants to spectate, so... Alright,
I mean, you're the one who was being a bitch and complaining, and that's why you didn't hit the button to spectate. That's not their fault, it's your fault.
Guys, thank you guys. I had a lot of fun tonight. I did fight a variety of people, which was good. I do appreciate that. Thank you. PW Dubs did another dollar tip. He says, you have thick skin. How do I get to be like that? I don't know what to tell you. It comes with the territory, and it comes with a lot of abuse. You just gotta get used to the shit. Sometimes you just get numb to it, I guess. Yeah, that's it. I'm done. I'm seriously, this collection frustrates me so much. Yeah, I really want to sit here and wait another fucking 15 minutes to play. Well, I can't even watch a match because the game didn't let me push the spectate button. Fuck this game. I've had enough of this. So, that is it for this week's Street Fighter Throwback. Thanks to everyone who contributed. We hit the sub goal tonight.
If I was a chick, I'd be way into that.
What?
Not now,
What?
son. My bad.
What the hell?
What do we do?
Phil has indoctrinated children who send him money, blatantly milking for money. It's a money pit. It's gone, just gone like that. In an instant, fucking gone. I just care about money. I just can't help it. I eBay. Contributions are mandatory, but I need your help. I am appealing directly to you.
No, let's let this finish.
No decency, no respect, no common sense, no fucking maturity. Is the guy who just doesn't get reality.
That was fair. That was rough. That was kind of rough, ladies and gentlemen. That was I heard some level of ignorance that I didn't think I was going to. So, give me a minute to clean up a little bit, and I'll see you guys in just a second. Let's see here. Let's pick something that'll help cheer us up here. Oh, boy.
Hey, yo. I just want to say shout out to my red bike. It got stolen about a year ago. And I think about you every day. But, you know, now I got a blue bike. And it's not the same, but it's a new life, a new journey. So, rest in pedals, red bike, I love you. I like to bask in the tropics with a flask in my pocket. If you acting no brolic, I'll start laughing and mocking like a charismatic parrot that is a comic. Now I'm feeling like the shit, cause I'm rapping with phonics. Loose off of Jan Ricky's, perusing sense.
Alrighty. Wow, that was that shit at the end was nuts. that credit card thing got me heated. That was pure dumb. That was pure fucking ignorance. All right, ladies and gentlemen. First off, thank you very much to Snort Burnell. Very much appreciate it. I really do, and whatnot. And let's go ahead and run down the gamut, shall we? So, my neighbors know that I beg for money to live. Oh, that's just hilarious. So we're just gonna go ahead and skip over that. That was pretty funny though. I don't care about the age of those who give me money. He should, to be honest. He really should. That Derek shit ain't going nowhere and whatnot. The fact that someone of his age would be willing to steal from their own parents to fund filling his lifestyle is kind of telling. It sounds to me like DSP cult leader all those years ago knew what the fuck he was talking about. Oh boy. Alright, let's see, next one. Cockroach, the ultimate survivors. Even a cockroach can be obliterated. His survivability is starting to drop though, very quickly. So we'll see how that goes. But I wouldn't be calling myself ultimate anything at that point. Let's see, and I don't do stunts. Your life is a fucking stunt. So that's all I got to say about that. Your life is a fucking stunt. And then for the last one, monthly goal achieved, which means another retrospective, which means another bore fest that he's gonna have to fake like he gives a shit about and he don't. That sounds tragic and a lot of torture that no one needs. My business degree is useless? Yeah, it kinda is, but I think you're more useless than the business degree. I think the paper is still worthwhile. Phil Burnell really isn't. And advice to avoid death. That shit got me heated as fuck. I'm sorry, that was just ridiculous. How he explained that situation, even though I already knew it, just hearing him say it, just that was triggering. That was just redunculous. Absolutely redunculous. And one of the reasons why is I've told people that. I've had conversations with people with how this idiot mismanages funds, and they never believe it. They're almost like, come on, bro. No one's that stupid. Yeah, there are. Yeah, there is someone that's stupid. Nah, that's not possible, man. It's not possible. Yeah, it kind of fucking is possible. And whatnot. It's redunculous. I remember the first time I told Asian GTG about that shit, and he fucking laughed his ass off and whatnot until I actually referred back to a couple of the videos that talked about it. And then it was just sad all around. Everybody was just sad. So that's how I feel about that. And under those circumstances and that type of behavior, and with other people pulling him out of this, essentially, he's never going to learn. And this is why I say that people who give Phil Burnell money, you're killing him. You're killing him. Because he's not learning. All he's learning is that, oh, well, I can take advantage of other people to save my own ass. And that's all he'll do. It's all he's good for. You're not saving him. You're not helping him. You're not furthering. You're not instilling knowledge onto him. You're just helping him hobble along. So don't get mad at me when I come around and I cut slabs of bacon off his back and I start cutting into him and start pulling baby back ribs off. You can't get mad at me for that. You can't. Either let him sink or swim. If you want him to be basted, then I'm going to baste him. But either let him sink or let him swim. And since Phil can't swim, which I'm not joking about that, I don't think he can swim. I don't think he knows how to ride a bike either. Which childhood must have really just been sad, actually. And I don't mean sad in a pathetic way, I just mean it just might have been sad. But anyway, yes, let him sink or swim. If you want to let him keep hobbling along, then let him. But then there's going to be consequences. And that's why you get spurgs like me. That sounds ominous. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening in. I very much appreciate it. And I'll see you guys for the next broadcast, whenever that may be. Like I said, I'll put a poll up on YouTube. I'm not going to do it on Twitter. On YouTube, and just get an idea if you guys like the new format, and so on and so forth. Expect the Wings Report. Expect like I said, something on the weekend going over like either Street Fighter or PUBG. Some of those podcasts, or not podcasts, but some of those streams. Expect that. And then just some independent projects that I want to go over. I talked about the Mauricio Gucci situation on the last broadcast. There's some wrestling stuff I want to talk about, going over some of the Jim Cornette stuff. There's a lot of stuff I want to kind of do. There's some stuff I want to talk about with the Mafia. I've got some stuff coming up with James the Lesser. I need to finish compiling all that so I can send it to him. Me and Agent Proper are gonna end up starting the Gentleman's Club podcast again, so look out for that when that happens. I'm gonna start the Gentleman's live from the Gentleman's Club. I will have Ghostly Winds to be my first guest yet again. Hopefully I don't fuck it up this time. So look out for that one right there. We're gonna talk about some of the stuff going on. I'm gonna reach out to G Money, see if I can get him on the show. I would like to talk to him. I want to talk to Declan Reed. There's a lot of people I want to talk to on my own little podcast, if you will. So that's a thing. So hopefully 2020 is going to be fun. I want to give you guys some variety. Asian GTG will jump in whenever he can because he's got a lot to do. And I hope this year will be fun. I really hope this year will be fun. I hope I was able to start it off somewhat well, and we'll see how it goes moving forward. And that's it for right now, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, I got to get all this structured before we can do the company meeting, and then you know how that goes when we get there. So that should be fun. Alright guys, like I said, take care of yourselves. I'll see you guys on the next broadcast, whatever that may be. Ladies and gentlemen, this is DSP News. Always late, never breaking. Unreliable coverage that you can't count on. Oh yes! A GTG Network and Productions for the Snort Report and SnortBucks Coffee Company. I've been your host, /anchor GTG, and I'm signing off. Take care of yourselves, guys. End the broadcast. Wait, that was fun.
And the felt of the velvet. I said, hell with a helmet. I can tell that you're jealous of the smell of the shellfish. Don't tell me I need a haircut. You can't walk a mile in my shoes cause I'm barefoot. Boss taking the toke, God's making the joke. With a Mickey Man or rookie card close pinned to my spoke. I'm partying with the dead like Dia de los Muertos. People look at me funny cause I'm a scarecrow, but I don't care bro, I'm snacking on apricots. I need my space like an astronaut. I'm in the sun chasing rum with the juice of a plum. In a singing mood and drinking booze like a pump. Someone stole my red bike, so I bought a blue one. I was sad, but fuck it, I got a new one. Chasing rum with the juice of a plum. In a singing mood and drinking booze like a pump. Someone stole my red bike, so I bought a blue one. I was sad, but fuck it, I got a new one. I wanna live in Bolivia, be oblivious. I'm sick of always having to deal with these idiots. The ignorance is ubiquitous and it's hideous. When I get lucky, that's when I'm the wittiest. When people don't leave me alone, that's the shittiest. When people leave their phone at home, that's the prettiest. Going on a hike shouldn't be considered hippie shit. It's okay to spend some days away from your affiliates. Mother Nature's where I'm planting my seed. Do a dance in the breeze on the branch of a tree. I reside in my mind, that's the land of the free. I got the world in my palm, you should hand it to me. I can't copy and steal cause I got art etiquette. Sometimes I think that everyone's my arch nemesis. I've come to the conclusion my bike is my best friend. My worst enemies tend to be dead ends.